Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Cahill and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would share with you my 2022 TBR list, or at least my 2022 TBR list so far. Here's hoping I actually read this year. Every year since the dawn of time, or at least since the dawn of my time here on Authortube, I have sort of made it a yearly goal to read 12 books as a way for me to sort of get back into reading. This started in 2019, I think. Is that when I first came onto Authortube? I have no idea anymore. And it went okay for 2018. And then it slowly got worse. And every year I would say, I'm going to read 12 books. That's just one book a month. And each year I would dramatically fail, maybe reading 2 books, possibly 3, not including any beta reading that I did, like actual published books. That's what I count towards reading, because that's for enjoyment, not for work. There's a difference, right? This year, it's not an official goal because I'm not doing goals this year because I've fallen out of love with that word. But I want to focus more on reading, I suppose, with the aim of reading 12 books in a year unofficially. But we have a good start with my TBR pile that I currently have. I think one of my issues recently with reading is that everything that I buy to read that sounds interesting has disappointed me. So I'm fearful to continue reading because I don't want to read and then not enjoy myself because it's pointless. And I'm really weird. I don't DNF books. I will continue to read the book to the end, even if I dislike it, unless I stop reading something in the middle and then I just never get back to it, which I've done with a couple of books actually. Do they count as DNFs? Maybe. But I don't like being disappointed, and I don't like things underwhelming me, especially when I've heard good things about it, either on like BookTube or BookTok or just around social media or from another person in general. But I need to get over it because I'm never going to find new books that I enjoy unless I read books that I possibly won't enjoy. So we have the pile. Isn't it so pretty? All of these books in this pile, bar one, I got for Christmas. And by got for Christmas, I mean I got some for Christmas, and then with the Christmas money that I get from my mother, I bought more books. Like a proper book nerd. I actually bought tons of books like a proper book nerd. I'm so excited for that because there were a lot of books which sounded really, really interesting, and I was really interested in reading. And some of these have sequels to them, either out or coming out this year. So I figure I might as well read it now, because then if I like the book and enjoy it, I can then buy the sequel to it. And there's also one more book on my TBR, which is mostly read, which was from last year, not from this year, which is All the Tides of Fate. I am almost, that's what I've got left to read. I'm almost done with this book. I started reading it in December last year. I read a few pages in January so far. I haven't finished. You can see how well my reading is going already. I haven't even finished these last 100 pages. The book is disappointing me. That's why I'm taking so long to read it. It's not as interesting as I thought it would be. With my beautiful, you guys are going to enjoy this, bookmark that my daughter made me. It's a little cat. It's so cute. That's my bookmark at the moment. I'm going to stop rambling now about other stuff and actually get to the point of the video, which is my TBR list. I'm going to break it up into middle grade and YA. I'm reading both middle grade and YA now because I'm writing both middle grade and YA now. The middle grade I've got is upper middle grade. I do believe, because I hope that will inspire, you know, working on Abingdon House, the series, which is also an upper middle grade but magical realism, inspire better outlining for the plot and content that I can put in without going, should I put it in? I'm not sure. If it's in a published novel, it should be fine, right? So we have 7 books on my TBR list so far. 4 of them are YA, 3 of them are middle grade. So we're going to start with middle grade. First up on my TBR list is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. I spotted this on Amazon. No, I didn't. I saw a picture of this cover on Instagram and I was like, that's a really cool cover. That's a really cool name for a book. So I looked it up on Google. There we go. And decided that yes, it did sound very, very cool and interesting. It's about a girl called Amari whose older brother Quentin has gone missing and she is invited to a secret agency bureau magical thing and she's going to go find her brother. If she passes 3 trials first, like that's basically what it is at the back. I haven't started reading it yet, but this is my first book. I'm very excited about this book, not only because of the cover, and look at the protagonist. Look at Amari. She looks absolutely beautiful. And I know there are themes in regards to race and equality in this book as well, which is a little too heavy-handed for me personally to tackle as an author, but I'm interested to see how it works and relates to kids these days. Absolutely fantastic. The next book on my TBR list is Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is a series, I believe. Is it a series? I'm trying to explain this and tell you about these books, but I have no idea. 2017. Oh yeah, it's definitely, this is definitely the first of the series I was thinking of. It's about Morrigan Crow, who is cursed to die on her 11th birthday, but on her 11th birthday at midnight she's whisked away to the secret city of Nevermoor and is invited to join some sort of magical society. If she passes 4 impossible trials with a magic gift that she does not have. You see sort of where I'm going with the types of middle grade books that I'm reading in regards to having to complete a certain number of trials in order to get something. Yeah, that's basically Abingdon House #1. So I think it will be interesting to see the types of trials that they get in these 2 books and to see if there's anything that I can do with the trials that I currently have in order to make them darker, grittier, more exciting, more scary, you know, to give it a little bit more oomph. And these will be fantastic guidelines for that. I'm also very excited to read this because it also is a series. Is it something I can get into? Will this be my next Percy Jackson obsession? I have no idea. That's my favourite middle grade book series so far. Contender for the next one, perhaps? We shall see. Immediately gonna run out of space to put all these books because they are in a pile here next to my desk, completely in my way, and I have no room on the rest of my desk for anything. So this will be very interesting to see. Book number 3 is A Darkness of Dragons by S.A. Patrick. I actually bought this book last year in 2021 and I don't remember where I bought it from. I haven't read it yet. It's because it's on my TBR list. Sounds like, not officially guys, a retelling of The Pied Piper. I don't usually read retellings, like I don't purposely go out and look for retellings. This one just sounded fun because there's a fire-breathing dragogryph and a girl cursed to live as a rat. And I'm very interested to see how the dragons all relate to everything. It just sounds fun and interesting. So it's probably like the last middle grade on my TBR out of the 3 that I have to read, but I am determined to read this one this year as well. Moving away from the middle grade, we're going to go into the YA. I don't know why that was a difficult thing for me to think of. Why did I pause there? What else was I going to say? Either way, 2 of these I got for Christmas from my husband. They were on my personal I want to buy these books eventually list that I was forced to make in order for him to try and think of something to buy me for Christmas, because I'm a very difficult person to buy things for apparently. And the other 2, I think I saw their covers and was immediately intrigued, and then intrigued further by the premise of them. You can always hook me with a fun premise that promises no romance. I'll be disappointed though if there is romance and you did not warn me, because romance always ends up taking over the plot and I hate it for YA. So I don't want to say it, but I have high hopes for these books, okay? Especially the first two, okay? Number 1, The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. Are we girls or are we demons? Are we going to die or are we going to survive? Obviously there's a lot less detail about the book on the back of the book in YA compared to a middle grade, which, you know what, is always super frustrating, because now I can't quite remember what this book is actually about and what intrigued me to it in the first place, which is terrible. But I think it's something along the lines of demons and she bleeds gold instead of red, and thus something interesting. Let me check inside the book. Actually, it might. Okay. I don't want to open the book because it's a new book and I don't want to bend the spine. Okay, not until I read it. It's there. Oh, okay, right, yeah, okay. So she bleeds gold. She's a demon. She has to leave her village. She goes to the capital to train with other people and stuff happens. Hopefully not romantic stuff. And hopefully it will be interesting, because the last time I read a book where someone had to go somewhere to train for something, that one book by Sarah J Maas, I cannot remember the name of, with the assassin in it, I was highly disappointed by the content of that. But this book is just so beautiful. Like, not only that cover, but the pages are lined in this gorgeous green as well. It's beautifully done. I cannot wait to read this one. Please don't disappoint me. Okay? Okay. You have a sequel coming out, and I want to be able to enjoy you enough to want to buy the sequel. Okay? Okay. Next, we're going to get to the hardbacks now. Love myself some hardbacks. Wings of Ebony by Elle. Again, this is such a fantastic front cover. I love it. Look, and it's shiny. You gotta love shiny. This also has a sequel, which I also believe comes out this year. Again, don't disappoint me, because I want to read the sequel. And again, there is literally nothing on the back of this book to explain anything except for other people saying what they enjoyed about the book. That doesn't help me discover what the book's about. This is a trend in YA that needs to stop, okay? What is wrong with having the blurb on the back of the book? Nothing. So frustrating. I also forgot what this book is about as well. It stars Rue, not the Rue from Hunger Games, a different Rue. She's technically half god, half human, and after a tragic event, she is snatched away by her father, who abandoned her at birth, to go to a magical city hidden, I'm assuming, around the normal city that she lives in order to be there. Stuff happens, which is affecting not only her life in the magical city, but her old life back in the non-magical city. Again, there are going to be some obviously darker, very relatable themes in this, which I am, again, super excited about. There's no promise of romance, which I'm also super excited about. It just sounds good, okay? I can't explain why I pick the books I pick. It just sounded interesting. Right. The next book is an author near and dear to my heart, Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. It's really funny that I've picked this up, actually, because I have not yet finished neither the Trials of Apollo series or the Magnus Chase series. And yet here I am buying another standalone first book of a series. I don't know. But it's shiny. It sounded interesting, and I've always enjoyed Rick Riordan's writing, and I've always enjoyed his representation. And, you know, I love his whole retelling of myths and legends and things like that. Not only for Greek mythology, but then you've got Norse mythology, and you've got his Egyptian mythology. Is it called Egyptian mythology? Egyptian mythology. Even though I didn't finish those books either. But it's about this girl called Arno who attends an academy for underwater explorers, and a war happens with some other academy on land. You know what? I can't remember what drew me to this book other than the fact it's Rick Riordan and it's a new book. I honestly couldn't tell you, because what is obviously written on the back of this is not what I assume I read in order to get interested in the plot. But it is going to be a good... Are you even a YA, actually? Oh, you know what? That is a good point. I think Daughter of the Deep is also a middle grade and not a YA. So I have 4 middle grade and 3 YA, okay? But upper middle grade, I assume. But again, a fantastic example of the type of... Not the type of style, but the type of content I can include in upper middle grade, lower YA, we'll call it, books, in order to help me with Abingdon House. Because I'm going to need a lot of help with Abingdon House. And finally, my last book on my TBR. I'm finally buying it. Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Sequel to King of Scars, which I read when that first came out. I have mixed feelings about this book because I have mixed feelings about the series. I bought King of Scars and I was very, very excited because while Shadow and Bone was okay, but I loved Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Still my top YA books, and nothing has beaten it since I've read them. My favourite character from Shadow and Bone was always Nikolai. So I was like, a series about Nikolai? Yes, please. The fact that Nina was a POV in King of Scars. Mwah! Because I adore Nina. And then I was just disappointed with the book in general. It went too big. Personally, in regards to the law and everything, and then it went, here's the law, and so this came out last year, I think, and I put off buying it, but I have bought it now in order to finish the series. And there is precisely one scene I know I'm absolutely going to love because it has a cameo from Six of Crows. I don't even know what this book is about, but I bought it because it's a sequel. What is this book about anyway? Oh, I don't know why I keep looking at the back because there's nothing about the book on here. So frustrating. That doesn't even tell me inside about what the book is about. Stuff happens. I literally bought it because it's a sequel to King of Scars, and I think Kaz is in it. That's literally it. I don't think I have any interest in the story. But the cover is also really pretty. So there's also that. I always adore any of the covers for Leigh Bardugo's books. They are absolutely beautiful. Look at that tree. Yeah. So that is my TBR list for 2022 so far. I am looking forward to reading all of these books. I say that and I haven't picked any of them up yet, and it is already the 20th of January, but hopefully we are going to get there. My book of the month this month, which is the book I'm supposed to be focused on reading, is actually Rule of Wolves. I might change that to one of the middle grades because I'm a bit more interested in reading those than Rule of Wolves. We shall see where the next 11 days of January take us. That is everything for me today. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you interested in reading, or have you read any of the books in my TBR pile? If you've read them, please tell me what you think about them. Are they worth the read so I can prepare myself better? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Good thoughts and happy writing.